Welcome back to the Will Studios. I'm Will, and I was going to talk about this Agatha trailer because Jesus Christ, why are we doing this? I was not that interested in WandaVision when it was originally coming out. I did end up watching the show eventually, but I ended up skipping parts, and it was really was it the beginning of the end for the MCU? Was it the beginning of the MCU? I guess most people would put that back at Captain Marvel, but I never saw Captain Marvel. I don't know how stupid it was. I don't know. I know a lot of people didn't like Brie Larson. I didn't give her a chance to like or dislike her, so I did give WandaVision a chance. And so in the comic books, Wanda wanted kids. She's married to an android. She miraculously has kids with Vision. And it was all Mephisto, right? So they introduced the big demonic bad guys in the Marvel Universe in the comic books. And, Wanda is super powerful, but she didn't always have control over her abilities. Like in the comic books, she would hex people. Like she was um, not a very well understood character. She was the Scarlet Witch. In the Avengers movie, she's just got red energy that she uses. It seems like it really felt like her red energy was more like gravity based. She could like shoot things, but she did that thing with Vision where she collapsed him down into the earth to seal him away. Um, was she a mutant in the comic books? Quicksilver was a mutant, but was she a mutant? Anyhow, irrelevant to the MCU. Freaking, I don't need to talk to this guy. So now, in the TV show, instead of having um, Mephisto come into play, which would have been awesome, I think, they needed a lot more budget maybe, but they could have given Mephisto like a human form or something. They could have done it cool. But instead they went with Agatha Harkness. Which, once again, it's like no one gives a shit about Agatha, you know? And then they made it like, okay, like, we're gonna go back in time through television to, like, relive the 70s and 80s or something. Which, that part played out well. There were some good scenes in WandaVision, I think. It was kind of cool to see the Quicksilver from the X-Men movies show up. And a lot of people got their hopes up thinking, okay, well, are we going to get some sort of unified Marvel Universe thing after this? Are we going to be blending the two timelines? But no such luck. That was all wishful thinking. I've actually never drawn Wanda Maximoff, to be honest. Maybe I have. Way back in the day. Might have been high school when I drew her. But since that's what we're talking about, should I give her a curl coming up there? No. A lot of times when I start thinking about the hair, I immediately start thinking about bangs, but hers are just gonna come straight back. And let's give her. I've been doing a lot of like sexy poses for the ladies. I do like drawing people looking off, like in that 3/4 view. It's because it's a lot of personality. But let's make her sort of like flying up. And she can be doing something with her hands. You know, witches always be doing stuff with their hands. Her leg all the way up. Legs are way too huge here. It's a bit better. She's a Scarlet Witch. Yeah, Wanda was a character that didn't really catch on, to be honest. It never caught on with me anyway. I'm sure somebody likes her. She always had curlier hair in the comic books until Elizabeth Olsen showed up in the movies. I don't know if that changed. Sometimes the comic books will reflect the movies. What's she doing with this hand? Gearing up another spell, I guess. Should she have a cape here? Nah. Does she always have the cape? I don't want to have to look up a reference for the costume, so if anyone says anything, I'll just be like, oh, okay, whatever. So instead of Mephisto, it was Agatha all along, huh? Now Agatha's getting her own little TV show on Disney Plus. How great is that for that actress, huh? Is she looking at her Target, or is she looking at us? I'll make her looking at her target. Typically, when I'm drawing a lady, I'll have them looking at the audience, just because I feel like it's sexier. Yeah, Disney has not been doing the best job with the Marvel products, with Marvel characters, I should say. Let's give them some dignity, not call them products. Loki was meh. I turned off Loki almost right away when freaking Loki gets blasted off, whatever, and then they have strong female of color cops show up out of a thing and just like hit him with a baton. It's like, okay, well, awesome, I guess. Like, they could have made it a cool scene. They could have given Loki at least a little bit of credit, where he wouldn't just get taken out immediately by even the lowest level employee at the wherever the fuck they worked, at the business offices that now control space-time, TDA, was it? TBA? Scarlet Witch always just like wore a bathing suit, essentially. Which is all any of the ladies used to wear. Back when it was only boys reading comic books, pretty much. Did she have fishnets? No, I'm thinking of Zatanna. I think she did have long boots, though. kind of makes sense, I guess. I'm just going to trust my autopilot on this one so we can bang it out. Make that a little bigger. Well, she's rotating though. So, just learning anatomy. So if her torso is rotating this way, that puts her rib cage up here. And this is the center here. That's where we're just going to stretch this one out a little bit and drop this one. So there's more gravity on this one, more stretching out on that one. Boob physics. Boob physics with Will. Ooh, should I call this one Boob Physics with Wanda Maximoff? No, we'll have another boob physics episode with several ladies. You can draw a whole bunch of them. And everybody makes the Spider-Man web symbol when they're casting spells. I've been looking at webtoons and thinking, because it might be a lower barrier of entry and more like immediate money. I say lower barrier of entry because I feel like I could take a lot less time on rendering things out with webtoons if I'm just coming out with it quickly. Maybe I can get away with having more of this quick, like, scribbly style. As long as, like, the composition looks good, as far as the lighting, as far as, like, the color choice and stuff like that, and as long as it's sort of clear what's going on in the frame, I should be able to just get away with a lot less of the hours of effort. You know, it's still going to take some time to really work out, like, what would be a good low effort style for me. Like with Wanda, if I'm doing a webtoony face, maybe have her be more like anime style. But I'm really going to need to work out what is like my low effort anime style. Or simplified like facial features. Just in the interest of producing things quickly. Does she need a cape, though? She might need a cape. Or I guess since I already have her hair over here and I don't want to change that right now. Just have her cape coming off over here altogether. Need to get better at cape physics. Most valuable thing about this channel is discovering new weaknesses for myself. What is it that I cannot draw quickly? Work on your squiggles. There we go. Everyone would recognize that as Scarlet Witch, so that works out. Let's put in some thicker black, shadows. Looking back at my artwork, I kind of want to lean more into higher contrast. Pictures. So less gray tones, because a lot of times when I'm drawing and I start the rendering process, I'll whip out the paint tool and start adding gradients to everything. Like, you know what, though? That's not always the way to go. And I'm starting to think it's not the way to go for me. For real. Because I think that looks pretty cool right there. It's not too bad at all. Should I drop some color in? Merge down. Give her some cheekbones. And fill in the lips here. Just to add like a little bit of shine where it should be. And then that kind of defines the lips right there. You know I don't use AI because I do it all real time. That should be part of the new intro. Be like, welcome to the Will Studios, where you know I'm not using AI because I do it live. Do it live right in front of you. None of this, people keep telling me to do time lapses, and that makes sense if I'm doing like reels and stuff. I could turn this into a reel. And, that would be cool. Does Scarlet Witch fly? She must, right? Or when she flies, does she have like a magic like pad under her? Whatever. If anyone says anything, I'll just say, hey, she's falling. She's doing a controlled fall. That's what's up. And I'll just cap the episode. We're getting to be about 30 minutes. Yeah, WandaVision had some okay episodes. WandaVision had some okay episodes. Overall, not too bad. But then they came out with Multiverse of Madness, which it's like they weren't even watching WandaVision. Multiverse of Madness was practically the same plot as WandaVision, where she wanted kids, and then her kids were dead, and then she's going around the multiverse because she's like looking for a universe where her kids are alive, and yada yada. And then WandaVision, it's like she wanted kids so bad that she like enslaved a town over it. But at the end of WandaVision, she came to terms with things, and it's like she had some character growth. Then you just erase that with Multiverse of Madness, which should have been a goddamn Doctor Strange movie. But like watching the reviews, it's an America Chavez movie. Like, Doctor Strange just sort of facilitates these newer young female characters to come in and be heroes. Like, it's disappointing because Doctor Strange was so good. It was kind of surprisingly like enjoyable. And then you're anticipating the second movie, and they're just using him as a platform for other characters. There's a reason Nerdrotic and that whole crew are so popular. Like, half the time new Marvel stuff comes out, I'll just watch Critical Drinkers videos or whatever. Not so much lately, though. But whatever. I might watch this Agatha all along just to have content to review. But we'll see. Thanks for listening and following along, drawing Wanda with me. Take care. Have a good one.